Hey screenwriters, great to see you again. We're not giving you the AMA vid today, that's a next week thing, but stay tuned for all things minimalist related, and don't forget to ask us a question in the comments below about the process. Whatever you want or need to know, distribution, writer remuneration, when do we launch, you name it, just ask it. We're going to do a whole series of AMA videos, don't forget about that. Now before we begin, I want to highlight our positive tweet of the week. This week comes from Sarah Rose Bergman, who tweets, "Sometimes a crazy idea is what it takes." Sarah, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the retweet. We just really appreciate that. Maybe it is what it takes, maybe we'll make history. Who knows, If we work together, we'll get there. So anyway, I want to get down to our inaugural indie film hero. What we want to do, as well as launch the Minnimal List, is we want to create a series that highlights people who inspire this company through their work in independent cinema. I'm talking about people who made something from nothing. People who took the bull by the horns and just dragged that motherfucker to the ground. Emily Best. Here's the story. Emily was part of a New York-based theatre group who got together, obviously fed up with the system, and decided, let's make a movie. That movie was 2011's Like the Water. Emily was the producer, grinding the pavement to get everyone involved in check. If you've ever been involved in producing an independent feature, you know the scars. Emily has the scars. She and her crew got the film done in 8 months. From the concept idea to the completed film, 8 months. When it came time to shop the film around, it was 2010, 2011, the dawn of the streaming VOD services that we take for granted today that were replacing traditional theatrical distribution for independent cinema, or any cinema really. So Emily knows that you've got donkey's ass chance of getting plucked out of the crowded market for distribution, and even if you do get picked up for distribution, you get hit with a deal that leaves you with nothing. Pretty much virtually nothing. She knew that this was an unsustainable model for filmmakers who wanted to pursue filmmaking as a career. So she recognized that if you reached out to an audience, one that you've nourished through constant feedback and engagement, if you reach out to that audience for help, that audience is going to help. Locations, props, gear, catering. They helped her reduce the burden on her as a producer and what she needed to get done to get that film made. When it came time to screen the film, they had a ready-made audience there through their constant engagements, and so they booked the theatres where they knew that their fan base was, and then they had people lined up down the streets to come and see this film. So what does she do next? She flips the system, takes her knowledge of crowd growth and audience interaction, and starts a studio, Seed and Spark. So she founded Seed and Spark as a one-stop shop for filmmakers to crowdfund their ideas. They then go on to make their films, and then Seed and Spark goes on to distribute the films through their online streaming platform. They are so good at what they do, they have a near 80% success rate for crowdfunding campaigns. This is because they teach filmmakers how to engage with an audience from pre-production phases and pivot their projects accordingly, rather than throwing everything up online and blindly asking for the unaskable and hoping that a miracle is going to happen and the funds will come through. It is cinematic growth market hacking. We all love indie cinema, and we all love its origins, we all cherish its origins, but we need to hear stories like Emily's that take place in the 2000s and not in the early 90s. These stories, as filmmakers, give us hope that if we listen to our audience, get feedback for our ideas online, and pivot accordingly, we can create something amazing that's going to be seen. I mean, that's the end goal. Hers is one of the greatest modern success stories in independent cinema, and that is why she is our inaugural indie film hero.
It's not like your audience has one quality, or can be spoken to in one way, or can be reached on a single platform. And that's why it is on you as the producer or whatever filmmaking team you have to know enough about your audiences and their proclivities in order to reach them.
So thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to go to theminimalist.com, sign up so that you can be the first to know when we're asking for screenplay submissions. Thanks again.